Today's world, so many things go unspoken.
But now is the time to speak truth to those conversations so we can finally address trauma and awaken healing.
I'm C. Lane, an entrepreneur, sound designer, composer, and truth seeker.
And my name is Brody, artist, educator, and content creator. Welcome to Open Canvas. Let's paint.
Let's paint, everybody. Welcome to Open Canvas Live.
Hey.
What's going on, Mr. B-Roll? How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling fan-freaking-tastic. How about yourself, C. Lane?
Man, it is. I don't know if y'all know, but it's a full moon tonight. So I'm feeling pretty good. Not just because of the full moon, but my spirit feels good. Body could do better. I need some acupuncture, y'all, but it's gonna get there. And mentally, I feel good. What about you, Mr. Brody?
Man, it's been, I don't know. It's just been a beautiful time of discoveries of self. And I say that just like looking and reflecting on certain things and learning how to truly accept what I can't control and learning how to make myself malleable to the situation. Really learning not how to get to maintain peace and self-preservation. It's beautiful. So yeah, just enjoying all that. I don't know, maybe the rain brought some of this clarity.
Yes, it did.
But like I'm feeling really well. Yeah.
Come on.
How's everyone else feeling out there? If you're tuning in.
Yeah, how y'all feeling in the chat on this? We almost in fall, ain't we, Brody? Happy autumn, y'all. It'll be autumn by the time we talk to y'all next. Yeah, it'll be autumn. So happy autumn for what's to come.
Wow. Yeah, that's I didn't even think about that. Yeah. All right. Well, fall is nigh. So I'm here for it. I mean, it's approaching.
All right, I ain't never heard of that, but fall is nigh, y'all. Fall is nigh.
I love fall weather. I love everything about it. The weather, the festivities, Halloween. Come on, give it to me.
Come on.
But we're not here to. Huh?
No, we was going on the same page. What we talking about today, Mr. B-Roll?
You guys, we had such a great time talking about sexual compatibility before that we wanted to do it again. However, we're doing it from more so a self-reflective perspective. Woo! Words are hard today for your friend.
You gonna get it.
So yeah, we are talking about things like that. We're talking about sexual energy, the energy that we possess, the energy that we perceive. And I knew there was the third P, and I don't have the flyer.
It was perceive, perception, perceive. That's the same thing. It was.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, I'm butchering it.
No, I got it. What do we present sexually?
Yeah.
What power do we possess? And how it's all perceived.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Which one we want to tackle first? Ooh. What you feeling?
Let's start with what we possess. Let's start with what we possess.
Okay. So sexual energy that we possess.
Yeah.
We'll see, Lane.
Okay.
What sexual energy do you possess?
I'm a Scorpio, so I possess it all.
That's real.
All energies, psych now. But to be real, I am a very romantic person by nature. Sexual partners are often, especially when I was younger, when I was just like starting off in my sexual journey, a lot of people were always surprised that I knew how to do certain things without ever doing them before. And I think that's innately Scorpio. If there's any other Scorpios out here on the channel, I would love to know if that's also your perspective. But
was porn not a tool that was utilized to like a study guide or something? You just like off the rip.
Could be.
You just knew how to handle that thing.
Could be, but as we know, it's much different than porn when you're actually doing the thing.
I mean, for sure, for sure.
But yeah, maybe maybe that's a little bit valid.
For chances, yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely say sexual power. What powers do I possess? The power of intimacy, the power of charm,
Hmm.
um, the energy of patience, the energy of patience, which sometimes can be,
Woo!
but no, Brody. Now let's be real. Sometimes patience can be wanted in the bedroom, and sometimes it cannot. I have
I
been with some partners who are like, I ain't trying to make this last for like 2 hours. Like, let's come on.
see,
Um,
but okay, I don't think patience, I know this sounds weird, and go with me, I'm gonna explain it. I think
mhm,
when it comes to sex, I don't think patience necessarily means time in a sense like it has to be a 2-hour sexual session. I
sure.
think patience just may be like, okay, maybe the freaky wild stuff that we did this time, or that you're wanting to do, I can't do it just yet. Patience requires
Mm,
you to maybe give me comfortability, not necessarily in the duration of the sexual moment, but more so in the duration of knowing a person. And I think that's what it's
that's
like
good.
for
I'm very
me.
patient. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
like
very patient.
I need to. Uh, I know some people, and I'm not knocking anyone's perspective about sex. Like some people, with sex is just a thing. Like, hey, I just need to get this nut out, boom. But
Hmm.
for some others like myself, I am someone that when it comes to sexual partners, I need to know that I need to know you. I need some time to know you to feel comfortable to let my wild side come out.
Mm.
Because my exes who have been patient with me will let you know I am freaky once you open up that box. But you got to give
Okay,
that box some
but you
time to
gotta.
open.
Okay, so you more so need the patience in the beginning in order to have the. You need that patience in the beginning in order to have the freedom to express
Yep.
fully, and then once you have that, you're pretty much good to go.
Oh, like yeah.
To put it in the simplest term, huh?
I mean, like, yeah, like I just had to like, you don't expect a plant to grow overnight. You gotta plant the
Sometimes I
seed,
do, but that's another
but
story.
it dies as fast as it grows. So that's why for me, it's like if I want to have a fruitful sexual relationship with someone, it needs time.
Mm.
It needs time.
Okay, so what powers do you possess? And those of you who are tuning in, we want to know what sexual powers, what energy do you
Ooh.
possess?
Um.
And don't be
So,
shy now. Don't be humble now.
Chris,
I know.
right?
I was talking to the audience, not Brody.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Um, I think sexual powers. The thing about me is I don't my sexual powers doesn't come from anything sexual. Like,
Mm,
you know, um, at least for me, I know sometimes that's not how it's necessarily perceived, which we'll talk about that later.
mm,
But for me, my sexual power is my confidence in my humor. I know I'm funny.
mm.
I love being funny. I love when someone can encourage my funny or who gets my humor. I don't need to encourage it because it's going to come regardless. But like I find power in that. I think it's when you like that's a power that I have
Mm.
and I wield it very well. So I find that to be my sexual power. And
Tie that together for me now. So funny humor. This sounds like a normal, great trait if you're talking to somebody, but you're saying this is a good trait. Also, sexual.
so I think yes,
And what's up, Green? I see you joining us. What's going on?
and
Go
this
ahead.
is why I'm going to explain it. It's it's weird, but um to me, for me to rely on something that I've always been confident in my whole life, because because not sex, but humor is something that has gotten me through the most uncomfortable situations. So
Mm,
for me, humor has always been that security blanket. And if
mm,
I always know that like I can always get through something. I always find the humor in something. So
mhm,
there's never going to be I guess like humor is like my shield. So I guess when I find myself in situations like I'm being approached by someone, not necessarily in a sexual scenario. I'm not like, haha, that dick was good. But let me tell you about this joke. Not like no shit like that. But
yeah,
I
uh-huh,
think because I can go into any situation knowing that whoever approaches me, they're going to laugh. They're going to laugh. So that gives me confidence, and that
mm,
to me is sexy. That's sexy to me. Um, but like I said, I know that's not what how I'm perceived per se
yeah,
initially. We'll talk about that later. You said
that's not
green.
funny is not how you're perceived initially?
I mean, I don't think no one can tell that I'm funny from just looking at me or just even get a vibe like,
Okay,
I sense that he's gonna make me laugh. Let me
yeah,
walk that way. Like,
yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily what they pick up on at first.
And if I could support what you're putting down right now,
Hmm.
I have had some amazing, sexual experiences that were amazing because they were lighthearted and funny and fun. Like, we were actually, like, having a very good time exploring each other. Um, and
Sex
those
is
are
also
actually some of the most memorable ones because
yeah. Sex is supposed to be like I feel like if you have enough time with that person or sexual encounters with that person, sex is going to be just more than just busting a nut. It's going to be more than just the
mm,
passion.
yep,
There
yep.
is going to be some humor in there. I mean, shit. Sometimes you try some things and somebody might have fallen during sex, or oh, I don't know about anybody else, but one time I caught a serious cramp during sex.
Ooh, ooh, not the cramp.
I did. I did. I had a heavy lift day and I didn't stretch like I should have. And I was in a certain position. And literally I'm in it. I'm in it. I go, oh God, cramp, cramp, cramp. Just like and
Oh,
I had to like
no.
roll away from the position I was in, like just kind of like let that thing like ride it out. No pun intended. And it just
Come on now.
it was it was a moment I had to laugh at.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I went from being like, yeah, this is good. Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Mm,
Yeah. Like so I think just like, humor has made me realize that in the long run, I would know I'd be okay. Things will be fine.
yeah.
So that it helps me keep a cool head. So I think like when you find yourself in situations with someone, if you have an extensive sexual encounters with them, then
Mm,
you are going to have moments where you laugh with that person. And I think that is something that's reassuring to both partners. It's like we can be in the heat of the passion, and yet
mm,
our connection is so strong that we have moments where we cackle during sex.
mm. So just because I'm thinking about it, I have a random question. In
Hmm.
terms of your energy, right? We started talking about energy earlier. In terms
Hmm.
of your energy, if it was an element, let's say fire, water, earth, air,
Mm.
what other element is it? Space? I don't know. What element would you say maybe comes naturally to you sexually, or and is that the same element that you utilize the most, that you find yourself the most in when having a sexual experience?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know because
Mm,
like okay, I mean sign wise, astrologically, I am fire.
mm. Earth.
Um,
It's that Aries, y'all.
right, but but I feel like I possess such a fluidity that doesn't necessarily identify with fire. I would like to say maybe I'm a water.
Mm,
Um, and I would say this because that's one of the elements that I gravitate towards the most. Like, get me to a beach in the nighttime and I just watch the waves
Sure.
crashing, and I love like just how the moonlight bounces off of it. I've always been attracted to water when it comes to swimming and stuff. I used to love swimming for hours in the pool. Like my parents couldn't get me out of the pool. So I've
Mm.
always felt like I had a deep connection with water. Um this might mm, that might
Mm-hmm.
be a little no, I can't say that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can.
No, because
It's
my
open
mama
canvas.
but my
It's
mama
open
watched
canvas.
my
But it's
mama
open canvas. But it's open canvas. Yep. Yep. You might as
my
well go
mama,
ahead.
my mama watched this. I
We've
can't,
had plenty of moments like this now. You already
yeah,
know.
but like I gotta listen. She getting up there, and I can't be giving her heart attacks at 9 p.m. Like that's just okay. Let's just say, you know what? I can't.
Oh
Let's
goodness.
just say the river flows. That's all I'm gonna say. You take from that
Okay.
however you can. I just can't give. I can't go into
The
more
river
detail.
flows. The river flows. Okay. Okay, the river flows, y'all. The river flows.
Oh my
Said from
god.
Brody himself. The river flows.
Oh my god.
Um, for me, I think it is I mean, I asked this question not knowing how the heck you possess air sexually. But uh for me,
You say air?
no. I don't know
Oh,
what that means. Um
I
I don't
kind
know
of
how you possess air sexually. But for me I think it's a combo of fire and water. I think
okay.
it's probably quite equal. I know how to tap into both of them. I think there are times where I probably naturally
Naturally.
I probably lean more so on the side of fire. Like, I don't know. Fire and me, we can go hand in hand when it comes to intimacy.
Okay.
If I have a green light, Brody,
You going?
you would think
You
I
going?
I created the word intimacy.
Yeah.
But water is something that I've definitely taught myself, which goes back into like that patience, that ebb and flow, that listening and responding, that caring side for sure. Um
Okay.
yeah. Uh Hi Jared, it's me, Gina.
Yep, I got it. I will definitely hit you up. I did see that I had a busy weekend, but I definitely got you, Gina.
Hey, she said bumped into the podcast. So welcome.
But no, she's been calling me, and I'm so sorry. I will definitely hit you
Oh
up.
no.
Give me tomorrow, boo. What's I gonna say? I so you said you don't know how you would see air as sexually.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not knowing if this is certain, but if you think about air, air is one of the elements that is present with every other element.
Huh?
Every other element, air is present. Like you need air for fire, you need air for water, you need air for ground, like for soil and aeration. So I see it as a thing where it is a sign that is kind of malleable with any other element. That's how I interpret it.
That's
Not
deep.
saying not saying that
That's deep.
is uh I'm not saying it's legit, but that's what I'm thinking.
That's deep. I never thought about it like that. Cause what? Water doesn't need air. I mean, air doesn't need water. That's
Hold
deep.
on.
I gotta think on that.
Water, no, there's oxygen.
Air.
Well, I guess it's not air, but I mean oxygen is air. There's oxygen in water.
No. I say air doesn't need water.
Right. That water
The
air
other
doesn't
way
need
around.
water,
Yeah,
but but
yeah.
yeah, all the
Everything
elements.
needs. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So that's what we possess. What's next on our list?
Um, we said possess. We said represent sexually, and how is it all perceived?
How is it all perceived? Was that the? Is that the? What comes before that?
We
What we
talked about
possess.
what we present sexually. Oh, what do we present sexually? Never mind.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
sorry. So which one do you want to do? We can do present sexually next, or we
Yeah.
can do how it's perceived. I probably need to do present sexually. What do we present sexually?
That's deep. I'm gonna let you go first on that one. And also, anybody in our audience, I'm gonna put the question on the slide. Go ahead.
um, what do we present sexually? I think. Yeah, so you should probably go
What do we
first.
present? Me? Okay, okay.
Yeah, because I don't know if mine's not going to be such a short answer.
I think I hold back. Like, and maybe I'm gonna eventually do a better job with this the more I work, probably on my throat chakra. But my intimate nature, my intimate sexual nature does not just show up in the bedroom, it also shows up in my thoughts. But I
Mm,
rarely let those thoughts come from this brain to actually finding its way out if I haven't received a clear indication that those thoughts are wanted. Um and I'm doing better with that in general, just like being honest with like emotions, or even if it's just compliments, whatever it may be.
hmm.
um but I think what I present probably to others, I probably don't present as a very sexual person. I've had people ask me if I was an asexual individual. um
I see that.
yeah, and
I see that.
I'm not I think I have come to a point where I treasure, is that true? I think it is true. I was about to say I've come to a point where I treasure the experience of sex a lot, that um and maybe I don't feel the need to present it all the time. But then there's another side of me that's like, uh but still, if you have sexual thoughts, if the world was fully open and honest, you would just communicate them and not care about what society thought. It's deep.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, why do you care what society thinks unless these
Because we
sexual
all
thoughts?
do,
Mm,
to an extent. It's on a spectrum.
sure, I'm not gonna lie. To
I'd
an
be
extent,
darned if somebody told
to an
me
extent. No,
society don't influence me at all. Please.
I'll give you that to an extent for sure. I'm just my extent is just almost is just slowly
No,
evaporating.
I understand, of course.
Um, so okay, so you have these sexual thoughts and you keep them only internal because you feel like you might be perceived a certain way if you expose them.
Oh, it could be. Yeah.
Oh no, I was asking. I wasn't telling. I'm
Yeah,
asking
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I
That was
don't.
my way of agreeing without agreeing. It was like,
Gotcha,
could
gotcha. I
be.
didn't.
Could be.
I was like, I don't want to speak on your
And
behalf.
is that
Like,
a yes?
uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a yes.
um, I get that. I get that. Um, so do you think? So you think you present asexually, but you're not. Well, and I know you're not asexual.
Yeah.
Um, but if you feel like, do you feel like if the people were to know your true intersexual thoughts, like, and yes, you think, how it'd be perceived, but like, how, I mean, how would you think it'd be perceived? Like, do you think it'd be weird? Or like, do you think people like may start to over hypersexualize you? Or like,
I don't think
what?
so. Like, my thoughts, even though some of my thoughts may be sexual, they're still caring, you know? It's like, for example, my thoughts, I wish everybody walked around in the nude. Like,
Okay.
I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care if you're a significant other. I don't care if you're somebody I'm dating. There's a genuine curiosity to what people look like nude. And
You
that's okay.
know,
That's just
you
who I
know,
am. I'm like a naturalist. And I'm like, clothes, point, what is it? Um,
I think, first of all, I had the going to the nude thing. You're so right. I think people should be. I mean, I'm not saying I necessarily want everybody to walk around nude because not. If I'm gonna be honest and selfish, not everyone's aesthetically pleasing to my eye. Just gonna be just transparent. But I do agree that nudity shouldn't be a thing that is shamed.
mm,
Um,
mhm.
and I like even just amongst peers. I saw my best friend naked for the first time at a spa this year. And because we had to go to the spa and you had to take off everything. And can I tell you, I think what was the most weird thing about it was just anticipating it up to that point. But then when it
Mm.
happened, it was just like, oh, okay. Like it was just like, what was I tripping
Yeah, it's
about?
like yeah.
Now, hear that, but I think also there's a part of me that, like, let's just say people were walking around naked.
Okay.
People, and I'm not saying that it's a problem. It is a problem. I'm not saying it's a problem of us, but people already have problems keeping their hands off of people and respecting their persons.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
I think my fear would be if people walked around naked, then people would be more inclined or feel entitled to touch something that is not theirs.
No, correct. I am
And I
not
think that's, but I agree
by
with you.
yeah, yeah. And I think we're on the same page. By me saying that, oh, it'd be dope if everybody walked around in the nude, I'm not saying like society would not react the wrong way. I think we live in a society where that actually can't happen because we have a lot of people who aren't mentally ready for that level of freedom, who would abuse that level of freedom. So
Mm,
I can think these things,
mm,
but I know for me, a lot of times what stops me from communicating certain things is I'm like, are you on the side of society that isn't ready? Or are you on the rare side of society that would actually strip down as well?
mm. So I'm going to go back to that same scenario with going to the spa with my best friend.
And Gina says she's jumping in on this one. Come on, Gina.
Yes,
Come on,
come on
jump
with it.
in.
Come on with it. Oh, you text me. Okay, I got you. I promise, I got you. After this episode, I can respond to that. Give me. Oh, I can just tell you now. Yes, I do sing. Sorry, she was asking me about a gig.
Oh, come
Um,
on.
I do sing. I can check my schedule about those dates, and I will get back to you on that. Thank you for your patience.
Come on, gigs in the
Um,
middle. I
right?
love it.
Bless on, bless on, blessed.
Come on, bless.
So I do think that one thing I did love about the spa, because this was like the first time I was naked in a public space
Mm.
after losing so much weight. So I was so nervous. I was so nervous. But when I did it, my God, it was probably one of the most times I felt beautiful. Like I was just able to, like you said, it's very freeing, just being
Yeah.
open and like not have to worry about anything. And then there was all that was kind of taken away from me when there was another person inside the spa and they made a sexual reference to my body.
Mm.
And I felt that exposure of freedom was snatched in that instant. And I felt like I had to
Whew.
cover up because I just couldn't relax in a spa without being sexualized. And
Mm.
like
That's
it's one of those
deep.
things, and maybe it's like maybe I could have been like I was in a place where I was like just in a sense of a space of sensitivity, but like I think just because it was something so new to me and such a freeing thing, and they probably thought that was a compliment. But the last thing somebody wants to do, especially if they have insecurities with their bodies and they're dealing with certain things,
Mm.
the last thing they want to do is have someone try to
Mm.
sexually proposition them in such a vulnerable state. especially when I don't even know you. So
Yeah.
that kind of made me like, I was like, hey, let's go to the sauna room, or not sauna room, but it was like, it's in Jeju. I can't remember
Mhm.
which room. It was like the Emerald room or something like that, where it's like a little bit warm, but you have to put clothes back on, because I just didn't want A, the possibility of somebody else saying to me, or B,
That's
I don't
deep.
know, that person would even go proceed further
Yeah.
and to try to act upon whatever. So
Whew.
yeah, it's a lot.
So, raising my hand. I love it. So, Gina says, so anyway, what about a man that is talking to you, but you know he's undressing you as you're talking?
Ugh.
As you're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I would love to hear your thoughts as well, Brody. For me, it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't think that's cool. I think there is a level of care. There's a level of care that ideally would come with seeing all parts of the human body. Um Sadly, I think we've been cultured and nurtured to hide those parts.
Mhm.
So those parts come with abused mystery to others. Like some people will be mysterious, like, oh, what does that person look like undressed? And that starts to become their purpose for that conversation.
Mhm.
That is is wrong in a lot of ways because ideally the conversation itself would be more appealing than the body. Um, so I think there's a couple things at play, but that's just me.
And I said, like that, but also, I mean, I also gotta like think about myself. Have I had moments where, being a gay man that I am, have I like seen someone's muscles coming out of their shirts and be like, I wonder what that chest looked like? You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, so it's one of those things where, yes, I've been in a moment where I can see, I mean, where I can see a man look me up and down and like try to see me naked through my clothes. And I admit my clothes are very fitting.
mhm.
So I mean, I don't know why you have to look so damn hard. You can pretty much see everything I got. But just just being real. I think for me it's one of those things where there's a time and a place for everything.
Mm,
You know, looking at someone in a way that is someone you find aesthetically pleasing and you're sexually attracted to them, I feel like, okay, if you want to admire them, maybe not make it in a way that it causes discomfort. Maybe not be talking to them and blatantly not paying attention to them, and you're just ogling them up and down.
mm,
Cause you saying you're trying to get to know me, but your eyes and your body language is showing your true agenda. So I think it's you have to get to a point where you have to, just be upfront with what you want. Don't sit here and
yeah.
say that I would love to talk to you, get to know you more, when I know that's not what you really intend to do. I think it's the deception of it for me that kind of
Oh, the
bothers me.
deception.
And I don't even know if that's necessarily intended, because it's here's my mind
Yeah.
thinking, because it's like, that's how I perceive it
Mm,
because of my history with dealing with touch and body and stuff like that. So I perceive it as, because you're not actually giving me eye contact, you're not listening to me, and you've already made up in your mind what you want to do to me or what you want to do with me.
yeah.
Where this could be a person who struggles with making eye contact because I don't know what their past was. But I don't have to sit there and figure out what the
They
hell it
got
is.
right. They got
So
scrolling eye contact.
I mean, like, it could be a thing where, like, all they've been taught about communication was sex. And
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Of right. Right.
yeah, I don't know what their background is. I don't know what it could be, but what I do know, whatever their perspective is
Mm.
not convenient for me, so I don't have to
Whew.
engage.
That's deep.
Mm.
That's deep.
Um, So I guess since we're talking about perception, um, no, not perception. What were we talking about?
Um,
What do we
Nudity.
present
Oh
sexually?
yeah. Mhm.
So I think how I present is not what people, or at least the guys that approach me, intend. Um, like I said, I wear my clothes very fitted. Not necessarily for attention. I do it because there was a time I couldn't even fathom wearing a size 32 jeans. So the fact that I can wear a size 32 jeans, I am showing off my accomplishments.
Mm.
If you want to give me a compliment, that is fine. But be respectful. I have no problem with somebody said, "You have a really nice body. Thank you. I appreciate it." It's when you start to proceed to say what you want to do to that body that I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you that. So I don't care to
I don't
know.
care what you want to do.
I
Yeah.
really don't care.
Yeah.
So, I know that what I present to people, or at least from what I'm gathering from reactions, is that someone thinks that I dressed up like this for them or for attention. They feel like I've dressed like this
Sure.
because I am sexually
Mm.
free, and I think because of those encounters, I have put up a safe wall. As soon as they start talking to me, it's just like I don't. There's certain things that I look at and I can tell, like, I don't. I'm not. I'm already disinterested. Like I already
Mm.
know how you're feeling, where you want to go, and I don't want to go there with you. So, for me, yeah, I know that I present something that, and just being honest, somebody just looking to get a quick nut. That's fine. You ain't
That's
gonna get
deep.
it, but
That's
you know.
deep. That's deep. That's deep.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, that's deep. Cause I'm like, that's interesting to hear. Cause I know that's not me. Like, I don't know what that lifestyle is like.
it's
I don't know. I don't. No one compliment. I mean, not. Sorry, not that nobody compliments me. Is that it never seems. Yeah, it never seems overly sexual, or
so
I don't get.
Dave Chappelle said a joke before,
Okay.
which he's one of my favorite, if not my favorite
Yes.
comedian, because he's
Yes.
so smart.
Of course.
Um, he says that this like maybe 20 years ago, I can't remember which special it was, but he talks about people wearing uniforms.
Okay.
And he was talking about how he approached this woman who had her titties pushed up and had on this little small skirt and like these stockings. And she was standing by a corner and it was late night. And he walked up to the woman and said, hey, I'm kind of looking for some fun tonight. What are you into? He was like, do you think I'm a whore? How dare you? And long story short, he says, you're not. Well, if you're not a whore, you're wearing a whore's uniform. So I think we have learned how to put
Mm.
labels on clothes. What then we pretty much adopt those labels because we're wearing those clothes. I don't think that's how it should be because
Sure.
last time I checked, clothes don't have a gender, clothes don't have a voice, clothes don't even got no motherfucking name. You just put the shit on. So I don't understand, or an occupation. So I don't even
Mm.
understand how I get he made that joke because that's how society perceives people
Yeah.
due to what clothing that they're wearing. But that doesn't I it still doesn't validate treating people a certain way. Um, so I when I wear tight clothes like that, people assume I'm the jump off. And I think from there, they're just kind of
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
they're taken aback when they don't realize that I'm not really here for that. Like
Mm.
at all. Like when men send me dick pics, I'm just like, you could not be so wrong. You
Mm.
you are so wrong. Like
Mm.
that don't turn me on. In fact, it's when someone shows me patience that turns me on. Like
Yeah.
when you the fastest way getting in my pants is not by trying to get in my pants. Talk to me about all the stuff I love talking about. Nerd shit. Oh my God. A nerd has a better chance of getting in my pants any fucking day. He really does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
really does. If he ever says some shit like, "What's your favorite Donkey Kong Country soundtrack? Is it the second one or the first one?" I'd
Yes.
be like, "Go
Yes.
ahead
You're
and let's
gonna be
get
like,
this ring
what?
now."
Let's do it.
Yeah, yes,
Let's
yes,
do it to the Donkey Kong theme music.
yes. So, yeah, that is the energy that I
Yeah.
present.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess I kind of got more into how it's perceived. So let's continue on to that.
Yeah.
I can well, since I guess I started, I can just finish. So yeah, it's perceived that way. What was also interesting is that again, being that once certain guys realize that I'm not that way, some would either leave, but then now it's like a new level of being intrigued
Mm.
because it's like, oh, you just look like this, but you don't actually, you're not like you're really a cool person. Like I had one guy who wasn't even gay, or at least that's what he told me. He's just like, "I'm just curious into men. I'm learning." He's learned. He was in a curious phase,
Yeah.
and one of the things that he's like, "I'm looking for a masculine guy," and I said, "Well, you're not gonna find him here. I don't really consider myself masculine. I am, I'm Brody. That's what I am.
Hmm.
If it's masculine to you, cool. If it's not, keep it moving." Um, but I think once he got past the looks, once he got past whatever kind of expectations he had of me and actually like took those down and got the time to realize what was going on in here,
Mm.
um I think he came to realize he's like, really, I think I'm just more so intrigued by you mind fucking me, like with your conversation. Not in a bad way, but like
Mm.
I am
Okay.
enjoying the conversation. It is now arousing me in a from a mental perspective instead of
Yes.
just
Yes.
like
Yes.
seeing you how you
Yes.
are. Um, so I would say if you wait around, it's kind of like a Marvel movie. If you wait around at the end of the credits, you'll actually get a nice bonus feature. But most people don't wait for the
Yeah.
credits, so
And then everybody go talk about it like, oh, did you see the Black Widow came and shot down the Man of Iron and Steel
when did
and the
that
Hulk
happen?
came
When
out.
did that happen? I saw the whole movie. I even went to
Right, right. People doing analysis. I'm like,
yeah. So yeah, just wait around for the credits, guys. I promise it'll tie everything together. Such a nerd. I'm such a damn
mm.
nerd.
So how is it perceived? Is that the question on the table?
Yup.
How is it perceived? I wish I had a easy answer for this. But I don't know, Brody. I think I am such a mysterious individual that one person could get one thing from my energy and somebody else could get something completely different.
Mm.
Um so I don't know. I mean, all I know for myself is to strive to be honest, strive to be upfront when I am feeling something. Um I don't know. I mean, it's perceived a lot of the times it's perceived as, oh, Chris isn't interested.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
It's
Well,
perceived as Chris isn't interested.
you're just so I think because you don't walk around with any kind of expectations from anyone,
Mm,
I think that you just kind of do your own thing. So you don't ever you could have an attraction towards someone, but I think because how can I say this? Like I don't think you're someone and I could be wrong, I don't know,
mm,
but I don't think that you're someone who I think your intentions on pursuing someone doesn't come until you know that the feelings are mutual. Now I could be wrong.
yeah. No, you're right.
Oh.
You're right.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Sorry,
Yeah,
that was
you're
really
right.
stupid.
And why is that, Brody? Why is that? It's probably because I don't want to completely put myself out there. Is that it? Is it a fear of being turned away, being turned down? Is that what it is?
Maybe you don't necessarily know how
How to what?
to initially put yourself out there. Like, I'm not saying that's the case, but like usually when you find, I feel like when people are comfortable with putting themselves out there, when they find that someone is mutually interested,
Yeah.
or yeah, the feelings are mutual, then it leaves a space of comfort. But I think because you're such a person you're also someone who respects. You give other people so much respect
Mm,
that maybe you feel like you putting your attraction on them without knowing is consensual, or not consensual. I don't want to say
yeah.
that because that's weird. That is not mutual.
Yeah.
That you, I guess you might feel like you might cause a rift in whatever situation or relationship that you already have established with
Mm,
that person, or even if it's someone new. Like you just don't. I guess you're someone who'd like to fill someone out first, which is understandable. Um, just for me, like interacting with you, I feel like yeah, you give me that vibe that you treat everyone, you put everyone at a level playing field, like the same level. You don't male, female,
mm,
non-binary, whoever they are, you see
true.
them as human.
That's
So
true.
you give them all respect and you give them all love. And then I think depending on how the relationship grows with each individual is it determines how your perspective of them evolves or dissolves.
Mm,
And I think when it comes to like someone that like as a love interest, yeah, I think you have to know that they also feel the same way, because I think you're one of those beings, you feel a lot. You feel a lot. You don't want to put that on someone else. Like if they like you don't want to know like potentially you telling them that you like them, that they might, oh, I don't know, they might feel uncomfortable now, or they might feel a bit awkward, or I don't want to stress them out. I don't want to burden them with this.
oh,
Did I hit the nail on the head?
yeah, yeah. It's like you was hammering the nail, and then the nail went through the flow at that end. And the reason the nail went through the flow, Brody, is because that's what it is. And I don't know if anybody else out there resonates with this, but I don't. The reason I sometimes keep my thoughts at bay or my sexual impulses at bay is because of that very reason of not wanting people to feel uncomfortable, which could then make them be less free around me. I love other people's free. I would, when we was talking about nudity, I want people to be as free as possible. So I think I am cautious. I think I am cautious
Mm.
of how certain things I say or do may come off that may limit how free a person wants to be. That's deep.
It's you. It's you. But I think I don't.
Mm,
So what I will say, telling someone it takes a lot. As you know, I told you about me
yeah,
telling someone that I like them or whatever. Um, but what I will say is telling someone how you feel about them should not hinder the relationship. It's more so the action. It's the actions.
yeah.
Like, I've had people tell me that they liked me, and I've told people that I like them. And I'm not gonna lie, majority of them ended with no relationships. But not like not like that the relationship ended, period, but okay, no romantic relationships.
Yeah.
Um, but what I will say, it just takes work. It just takes work for you to let them know, hey, that doesn't mean that my respect for you changes. It doesn't mean
Mhm.
that I'm gonna look at you in a different way. And I do try to make a conscientious effort to reassure that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Jeffrey, thank you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey says, "You can make me feel uncomfortable, Chris. I don't mind." Thank you for the honesty. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Um, we are on open canvas and we are live. I love it. I love it. Um, I love it. But to Jeffrey's point, um, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I, I want to get to a place where I don't mind allowing people to feel uncomfortable because Jeffrey, I think there is growth in uncomfort. You know, I wouldn't be growing if I wasn't put in uncomfortable situations. So why should I prevent somebody else's uncomfort or discomfort? Um or whether they question themselves or whether they question whether they are attracted to me or whether they question whatever. Like, why can't I just go up to people and say, I wonder what you look like naked? I'm just curious.
Woo! Jeffrey, I'd like to thank you for your honesty.
Of course.
Um,
Of course.
and I do apologize. I wasn't laughing at you, Jeffrey, but I shouldn't have laughed, period. Because
Oh no. Jeffrey said exactly.
Chris, this is a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
a
Yep.
okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. That I love that honesty. I really did. Listen, you put it out there, and I respect you for that, Jeffrey. Um. mm, well,
But I
okay.
appreciate that because you know what, Jeffrey? You know what? Other people probably feel the same way. People in their heads probably all the time say, Chris, make me feel uncomfortable. They probably don't. Because why would someone want to be uncomfortable? But you know, people, if everybody heard me say just what I said, other people might feel the same way and be like, yo, make me uncomfortable. It's okay.
I think it's because
Because
Jeffrey.
I want to be uncomfortable. Woo! If somebody was brutally honest with me and I was uncomfortable, it's hard to make me uncomfortable. It's very difficult. Very difficult to
Really?
make me uncomfortable. To make me uncomfortable?
Okay.
Uncomfortable?
Like
Very, very difficult.
you telling me there has never been a person that like said something you like had the D jerk reaction to walk away.
To walk away?
Yeah. Or like
No.
hung up the phone,
Sure.
then you
But
were uncomfortable.
uncomfortable? That's more
Yeah.
like uncomfortable.
That's uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable is like an uneasiness, like I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, you had to leave a situation because it made you uncomfortable.
That wasn't uncomfortable. It's because I knew it wasn't right for my energy.
Because it made your energy uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable?
Yes.
Please.
All right. Well, we can agree to disagree.
Uncomfortable cause no, uncomfortable is not a bad thing, Brody. Like even what Jeffrey is saying, he said, Chris, make me uncomfortable. He ain't said it like that. He said, Chris, you can make me feel uncomfortable. So uncomfortable is not a bad thing. Uncomfortable is like
I don't think
I don't know what to do with this energy, right? Uncomfortable is a
so.
limbo-ness. Uncomfortability is a limbo-ness when you don't know what to do with a certain energy that's coming at you.
sometimes there is, I don't want to say good or bad. That's why I say I never use good or bad, but sometimes discomfort can have multiple, it can have an array of reactions. It could be, hey, who this makes me uncomfortable because I'm facing some inner demon. I don't want to say inner, some personal issues,
Mm.
but I know I have to work through it. Me working through it is the reaction I chose for that discomfort. Whereas if somebody was like, come walk up to you and be like, hold my dick, that made me uncomfortable. I'm going to walk away because I don't want to hold this person's dick. I don't even know him. So that's
I'll
what
be
I
like, I
mean.
wonder what that's like.
You would hold his dick.
I said, I would be like, I wonder what that's like. Like my immediate, I very rarely have knee jerk reactions when somebody is being honest with what they want. Because to
Okay.
me, it's human nature. My first response is, wow, that's human nature. What led you to want that desire? It's
So
like
you
I'm
would.
such a curious individual, Brody. I'm too much of a curious individual to when I hear something immediately to want to walk away. It
So
doesn't
you,
happen.
Chris,
It doesn't happen. And if it happens,
Chris,
it doesn't happen immediately. I
Chris,
process it and I'm like, maybe I should walk away.
Chris. So you telling me
I give them the benefit of the doubt.
you have somebody walk up to you and you be like, they say hold my dick. You're gonna be like, oh wow, what led you to this conclusion that you just need to walk around a Kroger's parking lot asking people to hold your dick?
Okay, all right. You introducing new information. Kroger parking lot.
I said a random place. So I
Walking
just
around beforehand, so they must be asking multiple people.
okay, all right. We're this is about to this is about to go into something
What is
completely.
going on here, right? I would definitely use logic
You
in
just
such
said
a
that you want to
situation.
inquire though.
My first instinct is inquiry. Unless Brody, unless I already know the situation. I'm not here saying that people do not exist with the intention of just to sexualize people. Some people live like that. And I can usually judge that before they open their mouths.
I mean,
So
I'm
if
not
I
saying
judge that,
that.
I'm saying if there was an honest person that had a genuine attraction, that had a genuine interest and care, I would probably approach it from a standpoint of curiosity.
Hmm.
Because we're humans. Brody, we're humans.
Yeah, but not every human problem is my human problems.
Jeffrey says, I like making people uncomfortable because you get a better look into the person's genuine self. I guess. Yeah, you do. You do. I would say, you know what? I'm saying it here on Open Canvas Live.
Say it.
And what I'm saying is that I'm going to make more people uncomfortable.
Okay.
I'm going to do it.
Um, I mean,
I'm
I'm
going to
more
do it.
so my mentality is I'm just gonna live my life, live my best life, be who I am, unapologetically me. And if that causes discomfort, I mean, I always tell people like this: if I'm a show, you don't like it, you could always turn the channel.
Ooh,
So
unless they lost the remote.
turn the TV off. No, that sounds like it translates to killing yourself. I don't want them to do
Unless
that.
they can't get up.
I'll leave. I'm not gonna say where I'm not wanted. Can I just say that my lighting right now got me looking really cute? I'm sorry, that
Yeah,
was very
you
vain.
over there gleaming.
Thank you,
Come on,
friend.
Gleam. Yeah, you better
Okay.
gleam.
Oh my gosh. Stop it. All right, we gotta wrap this one up because we are
Oh, we
getting
did. Oh,
close
yeah.
to tiempo. That's not time in Spanish. I don't know why I said that.
Tiempo. Wow. Sorry for anyone out there that practices the language. Not tiempo.
Listen, we're trying, we're growing, okay? We're
Ah!
learning and we're knowing.
And we're making each other uncomfortable. Let's do it. Let's do it. If anybody wants to make me uncomfortable, please do. I will always be honest with my response. I will not judge you.
You
And
wishing
I
that
will
upon
start.
yourself? You wishing that upon yourself?
don't expect a response now. I mean, like, expect a response, but don't expect
You
the right response.
you
Don't
just
expect
told
no,
them to
don't
please.
expect approval. Do not
Okay.
expect approval if you are asking me a yes or no question on whether I want to hold certain things, whether I want to do certain things. Don't I won't
Y'all,
judge you. I won't judge you. That's what I can
just remember
adhere to.
Chris said that shit and Chris only said that shit. Do not try to make me feel uncomfortable. It's not gonna work.
Oh, come on.
It's not gonna work.
Oh, come on. Oh,
Mm-mm.
come on.
Mm-mm. No.
Okay.
My piece,
All
I
right.
know my piece and what my piece needs.
I thought you was about to
It
say
don't.
something else.
It did sound like I was gonna say that, but
Uh-huh.
I need you to get your mind out of the gutter. Okay. No.
Okay.
All right. So, fam, just give us one quick thing that you've taken from this conversation, and I'll do the same.
And I want to hear from the audience too. What's one thing you taken from this conversation? Jeffrey, I hope that's not your one thing, but Jeffrey says challenge accepted. Um, but I am taking away from this conversation that I'm taking away from this conversation that I can't look at you, Brody. That I can that I have liberty to make people uncomfortable. I have to. Hey, look, y'all, I'm gonna do some work on my throat chakra. It's gonna be amazing when I get to that point. It's gonna be truly amazing. Like, I'm gonna turn into good luck when I get a hold of my throat chakra and really speaking what I feel. Y'all might not even see me no more. I'm about to be uh very powerful. I'm gonna be a very powerful individual. Um
Yes. Yes.
so I'm stepping into that power from this conversation. I'm stepping more into that power. I'm glad that I recognize that there's a need for me to step into that power more. Because I want the world to be freer. And if that's on me to communicate certain wild ideas I have of freedom and what it can look like, mentally, sexually, physically, whatever it is, then I owe it to the universe to communicate that.
Word.
What about you? What's your takeaway?
um. Oh, what have I taken from this? I've taken that. Hey, one, let me just say, Jeffrey, I do apologize, and I do have to do better about accepting everyone's perspective. That was my bad. I think it's because I know him, and so, but that still doesn't make it right. So I do apologize for my laughter.
Yeah, we
I love
appreciate
you,
you,
boo.
Jeffrey.
We do. What I've taken from this conversation is something I said earlier about like um again, I tell you how like there's times where I say things but it's not necessarily me, it's just me being used as a vessel,
Yes.
and then I realize what I've said. So when I was talking about, people, Lord Jesus, this is the longest train that is by my apartment. I needed to
We
stop.
can't hear it because you got such a good microphone.
Oh, dope. Okay, good. I'm glad. But yeah, I think that the thing that I've taken away from it is that how um how I perceive people that have perceived me in it sexually. So like when I'm approached by someone and they perceive me in a way that's like the jump off or whatever, sometimes maybe a possibility, I don't know which ones it was, but sometimes maybe that person that perceives me in a sexual way and I perceive them as someone I've already written them off.
Mm.
I had to think about maybe this person doesn't know how to approach anyone in a way because they haven't been taught, or they haven't had any kind of examples in their lives to show how to approach romantic interest other than just sexually. Again, though, it is not my task to find out or figure out what that reason may be. If that person makes me uncomfortable or not, it makes me uncomfortable. I'm not going to continue. But I had to, but I think looking at it from that perspective, I can see it. I can now receive them in maybe a less of a frustrated way,
Mm.
or making it seem like less of de-villainize them, I would say.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Woo.
Yeah, cause we human at the end of the day. We human. Just because somebody might have sexual intentions doesn't mean that they are malicious. Um,
Or predatory.
or yeah. It might just be that they're communicating in full honesty. Because let's be real, we have sexual thoughts too that we don't communicate. We do, of
Yeah,
course we do. So it's like we can't we can't always fault somebody for having the freaking courage and audacity to communicate it. We think it.
true.
So
Yeah, true. So, well, I think, my friends, I think that wraps up this episode. This was fun. I had a great conversation. Uh, Gina, I will be getting back to you via text. Jeffrey, thank you so much for your
thank you.
transparency,
Thank
and
you.
thank you for those that were tuning in.
Yeah, via YouTube. People tuned in via YouTube
Yes.
today. That's new for us. So thank you for those who tune in via Facebook, via YouTube, and we'll be listening to this on Spotify or where they stream podcasts. So thank you.
Which, by the way, we're also on iHeart.
I Heart Radio,
We're on Google Podcast.
Google Podcast.
And I can tell you the last one if you give me one
Probably on
more
some other
second.
ones. Is it an Apple thing? Apple Tune Pod, Apple Pods,
We're not on
Apple.
Apple. We're not on Apple Podcast because Apple
Okay,
Podcast
great.
is tripping.
Okay, trips.
So yeah, it's they own some other stuff.
Go.
So yeah, we're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, and I believe Amazon Music.
And we about to be on I. Can we tell them?
No,
Great. Okay. More news to come.
right.
Uh
So hold that thought. Hold that thought. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We had a great time. Please look forward to next week's episode where we talk about some juicier things. Also, we will be uploading some more episodes onto those audio platforms.
yeah.
So be on the lookout for those episodes. If you weren't able to attend them live, you can attend them on your radio. No, that's not. You can listen to them on the radio. We see you guys
It's not really
on
the
another
radio.
Monday. But in the meantime, in between time, my friends, please stay safe, sane, and sanitized.
Sanitize. Deuces.
Peace.
Love y'all.
Love you.